Hey guys, Khalid from Cricket Fanatics Magazine here with another special episode of the Lockdowns show. And today we've got Wesley Marshall on the show. Very excited about this one. Really want to get into his story, really want to get into his life as a cricketer and how things have changed over the years. But starting off, just want to welcome Wesley.
How's it, Khalid? Happy to be here. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, man. So let's start with the lockdown and obviously with the title of the show. What have you been getting up to? Obviously, now you've moved franchises. So, with regards to what has the Lions given you with regards to training, etc. Also, are you keeping your cricket skills sharp? Is it possible to do so? I know it's off season, and people tend to say that they want to rather get into the mental side of things. But have you been doing anything cricket wise as well?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough that the guys at Easton's gave me pretty much all the gym equipment that they had in the gym there. So I've got a full gym in the garage going, yeah, which I'm going to have to give back one of these days when everything goes back. But I've been training every day, getting my workloads in and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
From a cricketing aspect, not really. I've hung a sock from the ceiling in the garage as well, and I've been hitting a few balls, doing what I can.
Yeah.
But I don't have much of a garden here, so there's not really much option to have a proper hit or anything. But it's been okay. I mean, it's not often you get the chance to sort of reflect on the season that's passed, especially when you're going over to England to play club cricket. Sort of
Mm.
everything comes at you quite thick and fast. But I've been going through all the scorecards of the games that I've played, trying to see if there's any patterns in my dismissals, that kind of stuff. So I've
Mm.
been trying to just reflect and see where I can be better for next season, see what I did well, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting. Going through your scorecards, etc., and checking up on all of those things. Do you have anybody that you speak to about it, and maybe to get some insight?
Um, yeah, Grant Thompson, obviously, he's a really good friend of mine. If I'm ever struggling with anything cricket related, he's my guy that I go to. He's got a really strong cricket brain,
Yeah.
and I like to dip into that when I can. And so if I'm ever struggling with anything, he's the one that I go to.
Mm. That's awesome. So this is my favorite part of the show. I just want to get into your journey and your background. Obviously, being cricket fanatic, so it's we I always say that I'm repeating myself from previous episodes again, but generally speaking, you guys that play cricket are the first fanatics at the end of the day because obviously you guys are playing what you love and what you're passionate about, and you get to
Yeah,
actually do it as for a living. Where others are just like me, or just the spectators that covering the game with the pen
yeah.
or with the keyboard. Um, let's start with your introduction to cricket. How were you introduced to cricket, and roundabout when did you start playing?
Just it's I was probably about 4 years old when I played my first sort of competitive cricket game at under eight levels. I've got two older brothers, and cricket was always in the family. There's always a garden cricket game going with scorecards and that kind of stuff. It was very intense cricket that happened there in the garden, and from there I just grew to love it. I mean, we we're a cricketing family. My mom's dad was a he played provincial cricket back in the day, so it kind of just all stemmed from there. And yeah,
That's
it's
that's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, when you're saying your mother had an influence on your career as well, that's awesome.
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, without my parents, I wouldn't be where I am. I mean, carting us three different kids around to three different games that need to be there at the same time. You know, the effort and the love from their side was really had a massive impact on me as a cricketer.
Hmm. And with regards to your brothers, how much impact did they have on you? Obviously practicing, going through things. How much impact did they have on your career?
Yeah, so obviously, my oldest brother also played first class cricket. He played for Eastern, so he played probably about 20 first class games or so before he called it a day. So him and I were obviously always very competitive, very like in tune. If there was ever anything he was struggling with, I'd help him out. If I was struggling, he'd help me out,
Mm.
which was nice. It was nice to have that sort of in your household. If you ever need someone, they're right there. So that was good. My middle brother, he just enjoyed cricket socially. He went out there, had a bit of a slog. Yeah, ran in, bowled a few military medium paces and that kind of stuff. But he sort of went his own route. He wasn't sort of as passionate about the game as me and my oldest brother were.
Okay, cool. And with regards to school, primary school wise, where did you go to? And was cricket taken seriously when you were at primary school already before you got to high school?
Yeah. So my first 4 years, I was at Summerfields Primary School here in the East Rand. It's a little school. And then in grade 4, my parents decided that I was going to move to KEPS. So I went to KEPS in Joburg, which obviously, it's already at that age is quite a competitive. They take it very seriously, that kind of stuff. So you sort of get a little like taste of being a small fish in a big pond there, which is quite nice. Which is nice coming from a school where sport was sort of second tier and that kind of stuff. But yeah, from there I finished at KEPS. I then went on to Cares, and I enjoyed Cares in certain aspects, but I didn't finish my schooling there. I ended up finishing at St. Dunstan's, in the East Rand, and it was just something that I don't know. I just sort of wanted to leave Cares for some reason. There's no really big story behind it or that. I was just a 17 or 16-year-old, and I decided that some change would be good. I was tired of the sort of driving to Cares every day, getting home when the sun goes down, sitting in traffic, all that kind of stuff. I suppose I could have boarded, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But St. Dunstan's was really good. I enjoyed my schooling there as well. It was like I still have friends from Cares, but my real friends that I still socialize with today away from cricket are all the guys that I met in those 2 years at St. Dunstan's, which was really good. I loved that. I loved everything about St. Dunstan's. It was an enjoyable experience.
Yes. Am I correct in saying that you would have been at the same time at Kez as Quentin?
Yeah. So Quinny and I, we were actually they brought in a fitness trainer there, and him and I had like a little fat camp for a little while there because we were both a bit chubby. So yeah, there was a fitness trainer. His name was Perrin, and him and I would have to do some extra sessions there, running up the stairs and all sorts of stuff there.
Okay, that's awesome. So, with regards to that, you would have obviously seen him play as well. Is there any memories that you shared on the cricket field?
Not really on the cricket field. We didn't play much together. He was obviously he's 2 years older than I am, so he was always a little bit ahead of me, and so not really. I didn't really play much with him, but obviously just being there, sort of watching him go about the way he went about things, just sort of be miles ahead of everyone at that time and that age group was something nice to see. It was very, very lucky to have seen that at such a young age from him.
Yeah. So after the move, with regards to your cricket, can you maybe give me some highlights that stood out to you and some of the people that you played against and really enjoyed battles with?
Are you speaking now from like a professional aspect or schooling still?
Schooling still high school when you switched
Okay,
schools.
yeah, schooling. Yeah, obviously moving from Cares there, the sport in the East Rand isn't exactly that strong. So I'd say my cricket was sort of hampered from that aspect. I didn't really play very much competitive cricket for 2 years at St. Dunstan's because you are playing sort of second tier co-ed schools and that kind of stuff. So from a cricketing aspect, it was probably not the smartest move for me to leave. But like I said, just from a personal life kind of aspect, I really enjoyed St. Dunstan's.
So how did you keep your cricket levels up? Did you play club cricket, etc.? Or
Yeah, well, I was very lucky that we had Lee Cottill, who's obviously very passionate about cricket. He loved the game and that kind of stuff. So my training didn't really take a dip. It was just sort of that competitive playing against those top tier schools. So yeah, Lee, if I ever needed anything, if I wanted throws, I mean, he got Blake's name on him. He came to work with us when I was 17. So
Yeah.
so yeah, from that kind of thing, the training side of things, I never really took a dip. It was just really that competitive sort of playing against the best of the best.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about your career. When did you get that feeling that, okay, I want to make this a professional career?
I mean, I've always wanted to do it. I love cricket. It was just that sort of after school, I decided, okay, I'm gonna give this a proper crack now. I'm gonna obviously I went through the age ranks at Eastern. Like I started at Gauteng. I played under 15, under 13 at Gauteng, and then under 17 I went to the I don't know what the week's called now. I think it's Standard Bank when or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
Coke Week. No, before Coke Week, the under 17 one. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know what it's actually
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Cubs Week.
So yeah, there we go. So I went there and I won batsman of the tournament there, and I thought, maybe it's something that I can do, and it's something that really excited me. I'm very passionate about cricket. I mean, I love playing the game. I love everything about the sport. I mean, I still sit and watch 5 days of Test cricket in a row. So it's something that I've always really loved. And yeah, when I hit about 17, 18, was obviously invited to the Eastern's Nets, and I started training with them a little bit, and I made my T20 debut at 18 or 19 for them, and I got a little taste of it, and I decided then that that's what I wanted to do. I never wanted to sort of be out of that sort of professional environment where you get to go and you get to hit balls for a living. You know what I mean? You get to train, you get to be around your mates, it's just something that not a lot of people get to experience. So we're very, very lucky.
Yeah, and obviously quite a successful couple of years at Easton's, being one of the cogs in that team. Can you tell me who had a major influence on your career at Easton's, and also what are some of the major highlights that really stood out to you?
Yeah, obviously I was sort of one of the lucky ones that got to experience the full journey of Easton's. I mean, I
Yeah.
was there when things were really, really tough. I went through that sort of transitional period at Easton's where when I came into the side at 18, there was no team culture. There was nothing like that. It was sort of a lot of guys at the back end of their careers sort of had their own agendas. Everyone just wanted to sort of play a higher level, and Easton's was something that meant nothing to the guys, which was quite sad. And then obviously enter Richard Dasnees, and that's where everything sort of started to change. It was a whole mindset change of everyone on board there. It was that sort of fit in or F off kind of mentality that took place there. And it was tough. I mean, we lost a lot of guys, but if you were on board with what Dassie was thinking, then you could really, really feel the love and the team culture and everything about sort of what Easton's actually stood for. We went on camps where we delved into the heritage of Easton's, and we found out what it meant to be dirt trackers back when they won in 2002. And he really gave us a purpose and something to work towards, something to sort of you'd want to play for Easton's. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people hate playing at Willamore Park, but if you ask any one of the guys in that sort of change room now, Willamore Park is our home. You know, everyone's sort of passionate about it. We'll do the little things. We'll we painted the side screens ourselves. Anything to make the place like our home, we'll do that, and that's all comes down to Richard. I mean, there was never any problems. It was all sort of solutions. If there was ever anything that wasn't right, he would do something to fix it. It wasn't sort of, oh well, this is shit or whatever. It's okay. How are we going to get this right? What are we going to do? So obviously, having that was massive on a lot of guys sort of careers. Having that sort of influence. And I mean, everything Dassie does, he does with intention. There's always thought behind what he's doing. Sometimes you can't always see what it is, but yeah, he has this uncanny knack for predicting how things are going to turn out, which you'll be sitting in the change room and he'll say, okay, this is how this is going to go, and it just sort of happens like that. Which, as having that as your coach is something really a lot of cricketers don't get that often. So yeah, Dassie has had a massive influence over the way Easterns has turned out now. I mean, we are a winning side. We never, like, before Dassie, I remember sitting in a change room, having a chat with Tomo, being like, sorry,
No
I don't even know what it feels like to win a game anymore. And now we in this last season, we actually lost 2 one-day games, and we sat in the change room and we had a discussion, because the guys don't know how to lose anymore. We don't know how to deal with that. There's just not that mindset of anyone should be better than us ever, because we have such a strong team and we all so closely connected now. It's quite scary. And yeah, even when we won games, we'd sit in the change room and we'd nitpick at anything that we could have done better. You have an hour and a half discussion after a game that you've just belted the opposition, but you still want to be better, because you know that wasn't 100%, and we can be better. So that, yeah, it was a hell of a journey at Easterns. I remember wanting, like, just before Dassie was there, I was like, I need to get out of this place. I don't see my cricket progressing here. It just wasn't a good place to be. It was somewhere that you're trying to bat your way out into another union kind of place. And now it was a sad feeling to almost leave them, because of everything that we've done, like winning trophies and sort of moving our careers forward. And that was another thing. It was never, once Dassie entered, it was never about sort of moving your own career forward just by scoring runs and playing for the Titans or anything like that. It was, how is Easterns gonna move forward? And sort of the only way we were ever going to move forward is by winning trophies. And by winning trophies, guys obviously get opportunity at higher levels, and that's sort of a process in itself, which was another mindset change. It wasn't I just want to come here and score runs and then hopefully play for the Titans one day. It was, Easterns was the thing that you were passionate about. That's where you were playing, and that's where 100% of your focus kind of had to be.
Yeah. Sure. That's incredible. I mean, I had Richard on the show a couple episodes ago, and speaking to him also, I got this type of insight from the way he thinks about cricket. And I posed to him a question. I said, I'm just going to assume, because he said he was a massive football fan, and I said, well, I'm just going to assume over here that you might be a United fan because of the way you think. So Alex Scott told him, and I know Grant, if he is hearing this, he would be like tearing his hair out at the moment, thinking about, hey, this is we're playing like with a United style here instead of a Liverpool style.
Of course. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of those guys where, as soon as the football chat starts in the change room, I just turn off, because I'm not really. Football isn't something I'm really passionate about. But geez, those guys can talk for hours and hours about football. If I have to hear one more Ronaldo Messi debate, I might. Like Dassie said in his interview, cricketing or a football team with a cricketing problem, I think is the phrase that he used, because there's so many guys that are so passionate about football in that team, and the competitiveness of the warm-up games. Yes, it's on another level there.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about Grant and what an influence he's had on your career. The type of conversations you have with him, what has made him important in your life as a cricketer.
Yeah. Like I said, Tomo is he's more than just a teammate. He's one of my good friends, and I was lucky enough from a young age to have that kind of mindset about the game influenced on me. It's something I still I'm nowhere near as sort of clued up as he is, but I try to learn from him every single opportunity that I get. And it wasn't necessarily the chats in the change room that have the biggest impact on you. It's when you're just chilling at each other's houses and you're talking cricket. That's another thing about him, is he loves to talk cricket. He loves to talk sort of mindset, what you're thinking, batting. Every single aspect of cricket, he sort of likes to delve into. He likes to know where you're thinking. And if you're ever struggling with anything, you know that the door's always open with him. You sort of the amount of times last season when I was just struggling with a little something, I say, Tomo, please just come throw balls at me for 15 minutes. And, he'd be there and he'd have a look and he'll say, okay, this is what I think. And this is how we're going to try and fix this. So even when you're batting well, he wants to sort of question you and say, what are you doing? Where can you be better? Like every single thing that he has to say, I'll try anything that he says at least once, which was, he's had a massive impact on me as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. We had him on the show as well, and we got that type of insight from him. So Grant, how's it doing? How you doing, bro?
Hello, Grant.
Hi, Wes.
What's up? Nice to see you.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever said so many nice things about me in one sentence before.
I was hoping you weren't watching. I was hoping you weren't going to watch.
Yeah, having to look after the little one, eh?
Yeah. How you been, Tom?
Yeah, all good and you, boy.
Yeah, good. Carrying on. Aren't you supposed to come here this week for the chill?
Yes, yeah. I'm on my way after this. Well, maybe tomorrow. It's a bit late now.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart to see you in that shirt. Don't you have any other clothes?
Yes, I'm not going to lie. It looks pretty good on me. I'm quite happy. Quite happy in this.
Buy the kits and you never thought to take it off, eh?
Yeah, been living in it since I got it.
Ah, yes. Okay, very nice.
Yeah, so awesome. This is going to be a great conversation, I think. First of all, Grant, from what you've heard, Wes say, any thoughts on the things that he said, especially about the culture at Easterns, etc.?
Yeah, I think Wes was actually quite a big driver of that culture without him even maybe knowing what a big impact he made on the team. I think he's one of those guys that is a proper 100%er. He wants the best for the team, and he wants to help contribute in winning. So it's always nice to have around. Sometimes that comes out maybe a little bit too much, where you can start stepping on a few people's toes, but it all comes from a very good place. So, like I said, I think without him even knowing, he had a massive part to play, not only in his performances, but in the team culture side of things.
Cool. Yeah. Well, this is the part where I'm gonna allow you guys to interact a little bit and have a chat. I don't know how much you obviously have been chatting before, but I mean, if there's anything, Wes and Grant, if you guys want to say anything to each other, Grant especially, if there's any questions that you want to ask or maybe short stories you want to share about Wes.
Yeah, I don't think we can get into too many of the stories, but because that happened off the field. But I think just from me personally, I think one of the nicest moments of our friendship was when I phoned Wes to tell him, listen, what shirt size do you want, because you're going to be playing next week for the Titans. And he was kind of like, oh, shut up, you're lying, type of thing. He couldn't actually quite believe it. So For me personally, I think that was really really nice to share with him, as a friend. And then again, as a friend, seeing him going to the Lions, I'm really happy for him. But as a Titan, obviously, really disappointed, because I think he's got a hell of a lot of potential, and he's been doing so well over the last 18 months or so. But one real question I want to ask Wes is there any particular moment in your career that shifted your mindset? Because there was a distinct time where I can recall you hitting more balls, getting fitter. Was it a change in mindset that you thought, okay, this is actually a possibility of me playing franchise cricket or going forward, or what was that?
Yeah, of course. It was sort of that when sort of Dassie came in and it became more about the team, like you said, it was then that I wanted to do well, not for myself, not because I wanted to play just franchise cricket. Obviously, it was a dream that I had for a long time, and I worked hard for that. But it was more about sort of I was letting the team down with my fitness kind of thing, and I wasn't setting that kind of example that I wanted to for the younger guys coming in at that point. And yeah, I knew if I was going to give cricket a good crack, I had to lose the weight. I had to get really serious about it. And I probably hit more balls than anyone that still to this day. It was that mindset change of, if you're not doing your kind of part for the team or giving 100% for yourself, you're letting the team down.
And then
it was
and then
one of the best decisions that I made.
Yeah. And going forward, looking at your Lions stint, what are you excited about there? And can you tell me, like, why did you move across?
Yeah, yes, I'm so excited. It's obviously, growing up as a kid, you go to the Wanderers with your parents, and you sort of watch games of cricket at the Wanderers. So to be able to now go there and train there every day and sort of be part of such an iconic stadium in the country is massive for me. I can't wait till we can get back to training and that. But I'm looking forward to the journey. I just want to go there and bring what I can to the table and give 100% to the Lions, and hopefully we can help. I can do my bit to help win a few trophies there. I really enjoyed my time with the Titans. It was short but sweet. It's a good environment to be in. I mean, there's a lot of key learnings that take place there. But I don't know. Obviously I didn't get offered a sort of Titans gig for next year. So from that aspect, I was looking for another franchise or another province to even go and play semi-pro cricket at. And then by chance, the Lions were like, okay, we're going to take a chance on you. And I'm so grateful to them for being like that with me. And I'm excited to just get into the environment, see what it's like. I mean, I know a lot of the guys. I've played with them. It's quite a young, progressive environment. Sort of, it's not that old traditional sort of way of doing things. There's a lot of young talent. The coach is very young and exciting. Like, just having chats with him has been really good for me. So I'm excited about the new challenge, and I really want to sort of bring what I can to the table for them, and hopefully get the opportunities to sort of help the Lions win more trophies. They've been very successful over the last couple of seasons, so it's exciting to be able to go into a change room that's got that sort of success behind them, especially so recently.
And then one other thing is your 100 for the Titans on debut. Not many people, do those type of things, come in and make an impact straight away. So what can you put it down to? Like, When you came in, were you comfortable, or is it the work that you've done over the years that made you feel comfortable at that level?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, having you there and playing games under you, and you were captain. So, like, I felt so comfortable in that environment already, because I knew what it was like to sort of play under you, and there was going to be no kind of surprise from that aspect. It was all about, like, okay, I've done this before. I played with Tom. I know him. We good. But then I've never been more prepared for a game in my life. I think I was so ready at that point. It was it couldn't have come at a better time for me. I was hitting the ball well. Mentally, I was in a very strong space. So I knew that it's something I'd worked so many years for. It's something that I wanted so badly, is to represent the Titans, and I'd sort of always been overlooked. So I never knew if this was going to be my only chance. I wanted to show them what I can do. I didn't want to get into that environment and show them, oh, this guy has potential, but we need to work on him. Sort of, you get over 25 and guys don't see potential anymore. They sort of want immediate results, which was something I was very lucky it came off. I didn't think about the game any differently than I would to a normal first class game for Easterns. I just went in there, I watched the ball, I hit the ball, and sort of everything took care of itself. I went through the same processes. I didn't try to change anything about my game, and I was lucky enough that it came off. So yeah, it's it was a dream. I might have shed a little tear there when I took my helmet off in the middle there, and then 2 balls later, I ran down the track and tried to hit Lukaku over his head, which didn't go down too well. With my batting mentor over there, I got a few looks and a few laughs in the change room there, which.
And then so just chatting about the mental side about batting, especially with you. And maybe one thing I've never really understood about the younger generation of a player, and being that aggressor type of astigmatism as a cricketer. Talk to me about like your mental, what goes through your head in those things. We've spoken a lot about brain farts and things like that, but just elaborate a little bit about your mental side and your mental challenges that you've had to go through in that regard.
Yeah, just the amount of chats you and I have had about brain farts and sort of being mentally stronger and still being able to take games away from teams, but just being smart about it. You don't need to sort of hit every ball for 4 or feel like you need to really, really dominate. You got to identify those periods where you can get on top, which I didn't understand at a younger age. It was sort of, I still struggle with it now, as I'm sure you know. It's because you sort of get on that roll and you're like, I'm just going to roll with this. I'm just going to see how this goes. You don't sort of take that 2-second chill that we speak about and sort of say, okay, I'm on top, yeah. Let's sort of be smart about it. You let the adrenaline and the moment get the better of you sometimes, which is something I really try to work on in this past season, and I think I'm getting there. I think slowly but surely it's coming right. It's not in this last season. It wasn't a quick fire 40. It was sort of a quick fire 80 or 70 majority of the time, which then it helps the team a little bit more. But for me personally, it's still, I want to be better. I don't want to throw my wicket away at sort of 70, 80 on a consistent basis, which is something I did this last season. I mean, going through the scorecards, I think I scored, I know for Easterns I scored 6 70s in a row, and then at the Titans, obviously I had that 100, and then it was 90, 70, a lot of scores, 50 plus, but no really game changing sort of sort of things, which is something that I want to do. I want to sort of be that guy that wins games for the team. I don't want to just get us there and then leave it up to other guys. Which, yeah. So moving forward, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Just sort of getting the team over the line, kind of thing. Not just getting near and then chucking it away or that kind of thing. Yeah, and that's another area where you and Dassie have obviously had a massive impact on me, is the way I think about the game. I remember chatting to Dassie when we were playing against Gauteng in Joburg, and he asked me what kind of a player I wanted to be, and it's something I still think about often. He gave me the options. He said, I mean, either you can be sort of that X factor player who is going to come off once in a while, who's going to win 1 or 2 games a season and average 35 to 39 sort of thing, or you could really be someone who is reliable 90% of the time, have a great career, average 55 and that kind of stuff, because that's the kind of player he sees. He sees that I can be versatile, which is nice. It's nice to have that kind of backing. So if ever I'm struggling, I sort of sit back and ask myself that question as to who I want to be as a batter. Do I want to be? And sometimes I struggle with it. Obviously, in T20 cricket, you want to just go kind of balls to the wall and you want to just try and win the game for the team. But the other formats, you have so much more time than you think you have actually.
And then the last one for me, the standard of the Mzansi League. You played quite a few games. Talk us through what you think the standard was like. Is the gap between it's like say a semi-pro and that Mzansi League big, or what would you say there?
The standard of the Mzansi League was next level for me. It was not just from a games perspective, just the kind of training that we did, the way we spoke about the game, the professionalism of the before the game, when you go through the other teams, I've lost the word, that kind of stuff, the pressure that is on you there to sort of go out there and be able to sort of win the games, and that's what they kind of expect from you at that level. It was such a good experience for me. But the standard, it was such an eye opener for me as to what you need to be to sort of be one of the best cricketers that in the country, because if you're playing there, essentially that's what you are. But it was such a good experience for me. I came back a different player. I sort of thought about the game a bit differently after that. I was like, okay, this is what you need to do to sort of stay at that level, and you see the way that the guys train, you see what they do for fun, like Dave Miller and them, going to one of those Sweat 1000 classes. That's just something that the guys do for fun there. You know what I mean? And so, but in comparison to sort of provincial T20 cricket, it's not that far off. I mean, it's so competitive there as well. I mean, you playing against hungry guys. Obviously, the standard's going to be much better at Mzansi, but the actual competitiveness of the cricket is still there. I remember sort of having the same feelings in the T20 final at Willamore Park as I did when I was playing in a Mzansi game. The nerves are still there. You want to do well wherever you're playing. It doesn't really matter the level that you're playing at.
No, lekker. I think I don't know if you want me to carry on, but yeah.
I mean, I'm enjoying these questions. If you have any more,
you can shoot. Obviously, want to know more about him as a person as well. Yeah, like you so obviously watching him act in the dressing room and before and prepping and stuff like that. What you've picked up and what you've learned from him.
Yeah, I think. I think he's grown so much as a person over the last 18 months or so. So he's quite focused. He puts his headphones on, and he just really tries to get in the zone. So, but away from that, he's quite a laughable, funny type of guy. Loves his hookah pipe. You can't really take it away from him, really. And it's actually got him into a bit of trouble as well. There's a few stories there about him burning places down and carpets and whatnot. I'm not going to say if I was in the room or not, but yeah, and that's what he is. He's quite a nice, chilled and laid back guy, and a nicer guy you'll struggle to find. And like I said in the beginning, very team orientated. He drives the team culture as well nicely, and he really wants the team to do well. So, going forward, I have no doubt that the Lions are very lucky to have you, Wes. And to say that the Titans' loss is obviously it's detrimental. Maybe you just don't score runs against us.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. I'm hungry now. I'm hungry now to score runs against you. I know. I know. If all else fails, Tomo is gonna come bowl his little dibbly dobblers there and probably nick me off.
There you go.
He doesn't. He knows.
Just don't drive. Just don't drive, and you'll be fine.
The net battles that Tomo and I have there are pretty intense. I mean, but yeah, I know if Tomo's bowling, I'm winning the battle there, which is quite a good thing. I know he might just decide to take the new ball if he sees
new ball straight up there.
Yeah,
deep square out, 3 and 1. You go, boy.
You mean car corner?
Yeah, well, we never know. Up with me up, I might be at about 128, 129s now.
Yeah.
So
fast enough to nick the double.
There you go.
Thanks for all the kind words there. I appreciate them. And I'm looking forward to playing against you now. It will be a bit of a weird feeling.
Taking our net battles out to the middle.
Yeah, not standing next to you in the slips, disagreeing on this and that, and just having a laugh. It'll be different being on the side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Grant. That was awesome. Gave me a lot of insight into him, and etc. So we'll get you guys on the show again. It sounds like it's going to be we can maybe after a full season of you guys playing against each other, we can reminisce about things.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, and good luck to you, Grant. And I'll speak to you again soon.
All right, cheers. Cheers, keep up, pal.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, so pleasant surprise, I guess, for you.
I enjoyed that. Nice surprise. Nice to catch up with you.
Yeah, so that's awesome because now I can ask you a little bit more questions about some of the things that he said there. I want to ask you specifically about your time with the Durban Heat, and of course Gary Kirsten. The insights he's given to you, what type of coach he is, what have you learned from him as a mentor to you as a coach?
Yeah, you see, like obviously when I first got the call from Gary, he's like, "Hey, you're gonna be part of the thing." I had to pinch myself. I was like, Gary Kirsten's phoning you here, you know what I mean? You almost don't believe it for a second there. And then obviously arriving there, just the way Gary thinks about the game, the mental side, the skills perspective, the way we trained there was sort of next level. You could see why he is an elite coach, why he's coached at the IPL and that kind of stuff. Just to be able to tuck into his sort of knowledge and expertise was next level for me. It was something that I hope someday going forward I'll get to spend more time with him, because when you go into a T20 comp like that, it's only a month. So Gary, his main focus is not really on sort of you as an individual. It's how we're gonna kind of win games. What are we gonna do? It's not sort of that I'm trying to grow players and help players move their careers forward. They expect you to be at a certain level, and if you're not at that level, then you're just not going to get game time, kind of thing. So Yeah, I'd love to have sort of a proper full season under him where you can really tuck into his thoughts and that kind of stuff for every format of the game, not just T20 cricket. But like I said, I can't. It was an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
Just everything about the way we analyzed teams going into games. There wasn't anything that you were ever unsure about. You knew what percentage of balls a specific bowler was going to bowl in what area, in the power play, in the middle, at the death. Like it was that integral. It was a proper eye opener for me. Just to have that kind of analysis. It was, you knew what you were going to get before you got it, kind of thing, which was nice. It was great. I mean, obviously he has the best of the best to do the analysis, and we got sort of emails before the games with the percentage of balls and graphs, and on this bowler and this batsman's weakness, and where you think you should bowl to this guy, and that was all off stats sort of over a long period of time. So it was as accurate as you're going to get, and we try at sort of provincial and franchise level to have that kind of analysis, but it's just not at the same level as it was up there. I mean, you chat and you say, okay, we played against this bowler last season. This is what he looked to do. This is how he bowls. His natural shape is away. But there was no actually like sort of statistics to go off. You didn't know, okay, on a specific, this left arm bowler swings 65% of his balls in, and you know what I mean. It was that integral, which was an eye opener. But like I say, I see a lot. I see a lot of the traits that I saw in Gary. I see in Dassie. I think one day Dassie's going to be one of those elite coaches. Honestly, working under him was special, and not just him. The whole team of coaches that we had there at Easterns. It was Melo Badibe, Zane Webster. It was sort of everyone sort of giving 100% all the time, which was nice. So, yeah.
Yeah. Was there, obviously Gary being a legendary batsman, was there specific tips that you got from him with regards to your batting? How much insight did he give you into that? Yeah,
of course. It's sort of at different periods of the game. He made you change your grip at different periods of the game. Sort of at the death, he wanted you to sort of have an open face so you could try to slice the ball over sort of that backward point region, because there's never a fielder at sort of backward point at that time of the game. So it was crazy to have that kind of. You need to be that adaptable that you can change the way you bat sort of at different periods of the game, but also just the backing that you got from Gary. It was, I remember driving in the car with him. We were going on a team build, and he said, listen, I'll back you 100% here. I know that you're going to come off in one of these games and you're going to get us over the line here, which was nice. It was nice to have sort of a legend of the South African game saying, I back your skill, and I think that you're going to win me a game. You know what I mean? So it was an incredible experience, really.
Incredible. Okay, cool. Let's go into some of the comments that are going to be a bit mixed up. We got the first one over here. Who was your favorite batsman growing up?
Jacques Kallis, 100%. I'm a massive Jacques Kallis fan. I've always been a Jacques. I used to watch him bat for hours and hours, and then watch the highlights after watching him bat live. It was just, I sort of, when I was younger, I tried to model my technique around him, but it faded away slowly because it just wasn't working out for me. I'll never be like him, sort of thing. It was, but yeah, 100% Jacques Kallis.
Cool, awesome. Here's a nice one from Ravi. He says, which international bowler would you love to see play in the 4-day series?
I'm very excited. I would have been very excited to face KG just to see what it's like. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's going to be a teammate now, but I would have loved to play against him just to see what those international batsmen are going through there, and to see just how far off you are from being able to come up against a guy like him. If you can score runs against him and that kind of thing, I think that would have been a really cool thing.
Yeah, obviously the Lions going to be very interesting this season. A lot of
Yeah.
talented players moved over, etc., and a very young team there as well. But now the one from Daniel: if you were to get a call up to the national squad, what format do you think it's likely to be?
I obviously people perceive me as more of a sort of T20 white ball player, but that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I don't see myself sort of giving up one format for another one. You know what I mean? I still think I'm adaptable enough to play all formats. But if I had to get a call up, it would probably be in white ball cricket, T20 or 50 over stuff. But like I said, I'm not. I wouldn't count out any sort of thing. I want to get there and play all formats if possible, if I can one day, if I'm good enough, which is something I'll.
Yeah, because I mean, first class cricket over the last 2 seasons, when I delved into your stats, etc., you 14 like, on the brink of 50 in 2 seasons in a row in first class cricket. So I mean, like, it's not like you a slouch in first class cricket.
A lot of people don't know that, actually. A lot of people sort of see you whacking the ball and they're like, oh, you must be just a short format player, you know what I mean? But I've actually done really well in the longer formats over the last 2 years, which is something that I really want. I love the long format of the game. I love everything about batting in the long format just as much as I do in the T20 stuff. So yeah, I'd love to play sort of Test cricket. That's always been the dream. You know, when you're growing up, you don't want to you want to play Test cricket. That's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, did I research correctly to see that you've played like a game for Namibia? Or
No.
No. Okay,
No,
cool. Because
never played for Namibia.
No, because I mean, like, I don't know why Click Archive gives you. It's weird.
No, obviously I played against Namibia a few times when we were playing in the provincial setup.
Yeah.
Never played for them.
So Click Archive, you need to get your stats correct, eh? Because I mean, I was like, I went through them. I'm like, one game from Namibia, like what? It was one game. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, this can't make any sense.
That's a bit confused there. I think maybe there's another Wesley Marshall that played one game.
Who's the most intimidating bowler on the local 4-day circuit, would you say?
Intimidating. Jeez. I don't know. I always love pace. You know what I mean? Like pace doesn't really faze me. I enjoy kind of that challenge of guys trying to bounce you out and that. So I try not to be intimidated by any bowlers. I try to sort of stamp my own authority on them. I want to be the guy that kind of has a presence at the crease where they must feel kind of under pressure if they're going to run in and bowl at you and try to bump you. But obviously there have been guys that you're like, well, this guy's bowling rapid at the moment. He's in the midst of a good spell now. So it's more about on the day what kind of. I can't say one guy. I can't say I hate facing this bowler or that bowler. It's more about on the day who's getting it right kind of thing, and then identifying that and saying, okay, we're not going to try much against this guy, but I can't really put a finger on one bowler that I've really hated facing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Although in the provincial setup, I don't know if you know Forgella from Border. I'm pretty sure I average about 2 against him. He really has got the wool over me a few times. He's he just makes me kick it. I don't know what it is about him or his action, or I just seem to kick the ball whenever I face him, which is quite interesting.
Very interesting. Would you consider, from Ravi, would you consider venturing overseas to play cricket, perhaps county or shield?
I mean, if I wouldn't consider I don't think I'd consider leaving South Africa to go play. If sort of you reach international level and you can go over as an overseas player and that kind of stuff, then yeah, 100% I'd give it a crack, because it's more cricket in a different part of the world, and you get to experience new things and that kind of stuff. Then yeah, 100% I would. But I don't see myself sort of giving up my South African thing to go to venture into cricket anywhere else in the world, especially not at this stage. I mean, I'm 26. I'm 26. If you want to do something like that, you got to do it when you're 19, because then by the time you're 24, you sort of qualified to play professional cricket in another country or that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Okay, what's the weirdest thing you have ever seen happen on a cricket field?
Geez, I don't know if you know Coffee Apia. I do. He plays at Eastons. He's a big, tall, fast bowler, and there's just so many things about him that are so entertaining, about when he bats or his technique, but the seriousness that like he puts into his batting is quite funny. But we were playing against, I think it was SWD or Gauteng or one of these teams, and he you know in cartoons when someone slips on a banana peel, he was running between the wickets while he was batting, and he full on slipped, fell on his back, and got ran out in the middle of the thing. That was very weird. It was entertaining. I enjoyed that. It's one of those good memories from a cricket field.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So now you're going to be playing on both sides of you have been playing on both sides of the Yexai River. Are you a Bulls or Lions fan? Perhaps a silent Stormers supporter?
No, I'm definitely a Lions fan. I've always been a Lion. I enjoy going to the rugby there and watching the Lions play. So yeah, maybe it was a sign from early on that's where I should be. But yeah, definitely a Lion.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about that time in the dressing room at the Titans. Obviously, a big franchise as well. Being in that environment, what sort of lessons did you learn in that environment from some maybe specific players? Did you interact with a guy like Dean Alger at all at any particular time? And also guys like Heinrich Klaassen, etc. Lungi Ngidi, have you ever cross paths with them? Those international stars, what did you learn from them?
Obviously, I spent a bit of time with all of them. It was a great experience. It was nice to be able to sit and have them see you train and give you feedback on things, because these are guys that are successful at international level. But someone I spent a lot of time with was I only played with him the one game, but Tiennis de Brain, I had a really, really long chat with him after we played against the Warriors at SuperSport Park. I had a really good chat with him, just to get his thoughts on what he thought about my batting, and he really did help me. It was more mental kind of things that we spoke about. It wasn't really the technical side of stuff. It was, what are you thinking? How are you gonna go about scoring hundreds, like that kind of stuff, which had a good impact on me, I think. But also just seeing the way that those guys train, being able to be in that environment with the Aidan Markrams and the Dean Algers, and seeing that they are doing similar things to you. Do you know what I mean? Heinrich Klaassen as well. They're doing similar things to you, so you know that it kind of gives you a little pointer that you're doing the right things to go in the right direction, kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, being able to rock up to a net session and you've got Chris Morris, Lungi Ngidi, Junior Dala, Corbin Bosch. These guys bowling at you day in and day out. It's tough. It's tough that you're not going to improve as a batter. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a great sort of environment to be in.
Cool. And then more off the field, favorite fast food spot in the 011?
Favorite fast food spot in let me think about this. Just I'm a sucker for Kota Joe's. Kota Joe's is a good one. But then just a pizza, man. I like a thin based pizza from Dalforno's or something, which is also good. I'll be lying if I said I haven't had a few pizzas since the deliveries started opening again. So yeah, it'd probably be Dalforno's or Kota Joe's or something along those lines.
Cool. One from Daniel. I don't know these places. So Snotkop or Billy Joel?
Those are definitely Billy Joel. I'm not a Snotkop fan. Those are bands. Those are actually bands.
Yeah. I know Billy Joel, but
yeah, Billy Joel, 100%. Not much of a Snotkop fan there.
Okay, cool. And just finally from me, thank you a lot for coming on the show. I just want to obviously just get some insight into with regards to your goals now for the Lions. Playing there and your excitement about that. I know you delved into it a little bit with Grant when he came on the show, but just can you give me your one main goal that you're actually going to try to achieve this next season when you guys start playing again?
Obviously, I want to be a positive influence in the change room, and I want to be that sort of guy that the team can rely on, and I want to score hundreds, and I want to make an impact there. I want to. There's so many things that I want to do there. Do you know what I mean? There's so many things that I'm yet to achieve. I want to be seen eventually as the guy that we can back this guy. We know what he's going to do for us, kind of thing. And I want to be able to put the numbers on the board where I give them a reason to kind of back me and show that faith in me. I want to help win trophies. There's not many better feelings as a cricketer than winning a trophy, and a lot of cricketers don't often get to lift that many trophies throughout a career. So I want to help the team do that. It's a feeling that you can't describe when a collective group of players who have been through a lot together over a whole season finally get to lift the trophy together. It's quite a special feeling. So that will probably be my main goal. So if I just want to do everything I can to have an impact and get a trophy, that's number one.
Cool. Awesome. And please, for my part, when you do come across Bjorn Fortuin, just give him a little bit of a hard time and say it's from me.
I will do. There's a lot of obviously we went and we did that food drive for in Cosmo City the other day, and there's a lot of banter that flies around in the Lions change room. So I'm sure it will go down pretty well.
Awesome.
But I'll give him a hard time for you.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot for coming on the show. Just lastly, a message to the Cricket Fanatics fans.
Yeah, guys, keep tuning in, keep supporting this. I think it's a great initiative to see what the guys are getting up to during lockdown and delve into kind of what drives them as cricketers. So yeah, it's a really good thing, and thanks for watching.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. So you know what to do. Click that subscribe button, share it to your friends, click like, all of those things. Get in the comments after the video. Obviously, processes on YouTube. It will be back for you guys to watch it again. We will put it on our website. We have a section now on the website in the video section where we've put the lockdown series where you can watch every single episode. Just click on the link and it will take you straight to it. Lastly, from us, we've got another episode tonight with the Legends of Ravi. We're going to be speaking to Stephen Cook. So, Wes, maybe you'd want to tune into that one. It's going to be quite epic. He's going to come on as a guest as well on the show. So it will be a very nice to talk to Ravi about his experiences of watching Stephen, and then obviously talking to Stephen and letting them interact and talk to each other. So thanks a lot for everybody out there, and stay safe during this period. Thanks, Wes.
Cheers.